Chapter 1.
Speaker, you want to choose the same thing. This might be a speaker relative,
Yeah, okay.
but I can hear you. I can hear myself.
I can't hear anybody else.
You need to change the speaker. It should be under microphone to off the headset to speaker.
Yes.
So, Madam Secretary, are we ready to call the meeting to order? Oh,
Sorry,
she's
yeah,
on.
yes,
Mr.
no,
Secretary, I saw Miriam on here. Okay.
no problem. Yes, we are all set.
Okay. At this time, on July the 2nd at 1 o'clock, time now is 1:01. I'd like to call the Finance Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Einhauser,
Present.
Commissioner Coleman,
Present, Detroit, Michigan.
and Chairperson Forte is excused at the moment, but she does plan on joining us. However, we do have a quorum.
Great. Next up, I'd like to request a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I would so move.
It has been moved. Is there a second? I'll second it. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any abstentions? Hearing none, the agenda is approved. Next line item, approval of the minutes from June 4th, 2025. Can we have a motion, please?
Yes, I move we approve the minutes.
And I second it. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The minutes from June 4th, 2025 have been approved. Next up is line item number 5, public participation. Do we have any?
Mr. Chair, good afternoon. This is Brian Peckinpah, Public Affairs Director with Detroit Water and Sewage Department. I will give the instructions since this is the first committee meeting, and I do see there's already one hand raised. To make a comment, please raise your hand by using the raise hand icon on your desktop or mobile device using the Zoom app. If you are calling into the meeting by phone, press *9 to raise your hand. During public comment, after your name is called, you will be given permission to unmute. In order to begin speaking, you will have to unmute yourself. To do so, press the unmute button, which is the microphone icon if you're online or on the Zoom app, or *6 if you are calling in. At the beginning of your comment, please share your full name and the community or neighborhood you live, work in, or are representing. This is important for our meeting minutes. The timer will start after your introduction. You will have a limit of 3 minutes to make your comment, and please keep your comments to public comment. This is not an opportunity to request information or data, which can be done through the city website at detroitmi.gov or through Legistar. If you do make a comment, and in order for DWSD staff to follow up with you, we kindly request you complete the comment card link located with the Board of Water Commissioners meeting event posted on the city website on the DWSD page. You will only be called upon once. Once the chair closes public comment, there will be no other comments from the public, and all attendees will remain muted for the duration of the committee meeting. We will please ask all attendees, if you are going to make a public comment during this committee, to raise your hand now so we don't miss you at the last call for a public comment. And Mr. Chair, the first person is Gwendolyn Howard.
Excellent.
Ms. Howard, you should be able to unmute. Mr. Chair, she is not unmuted. We do have the next person, Narelle Hemphill.
Okay.
Ms. Hemphill?
Good afternoon. May I be heard?
Sure.
Okay, I just had a question for the Finance Committee. For the water main break in Southwest Detroit, I know that DWSD was working through reconciling those the money that was spent and all of that. Will that be shared with the public? That was all. That's just my only question, whether or not that'll be shared with the public when it is reconciled.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, can we try Ms. Howard one more time? Gwendolyn Howard?
Please.
Looks like she could unmute, Mr. Chair, but she may be having a technical problem on her end, but we'll certainly offer up the opportunity in the other committee meetings. There are no other hands raised.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. Next up is communications. Line item A, 2025 Tech 142, receive of correspondence.
Mr. Chairman, I move we receive and file the communication.
It has been moved. I'll second it. Is there some information that we need to know about, or are we fine to vote at this time?
The first item, receipt of correspondence, is just a copy of small dollar contracts and purchase orders and any ECSs that are processed within the department. And so I think there are about 5 on a small dollar one. Those are warehouse contracts that fall up under a $25,000 threshold. And then we had one ECS that was $2,100 for a minor roof leak at MOB where we had to call in an emergency contract. Other than that, there are no other items to be discussed for those contracts.
Okay. All right. Thank you. At this time, all in favor? Receive a correspondence? Please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any abstentions? Hearing none. It is received. Next is line item B, 2025 Tech 159, receipt of correspondence. Mrs. Welch?
I move we receive and file that correspondence.
Okay, I second it.
Okay, yes. Well, this receipt of correspondence does require a little bit of commentary. I just want to give you all some background. This receipt of correspondence is due to a protest that the procurement department received. It was for our ground maintenance services contract. DWSD did receive 2 bids for this contract, and it was advertised for 35 days. Upon evaluation of DJ's landscape management's bid, we were unable to determine their unit price as it related to the grand total amount, which was indicated on their pricing sheet. The buyer then sent an email to the supplier to request clarification on how they arrived at their unit price and their grand total amount of $228,445. The bid submission was then later determined that it was based on an annual cost of services, and this was a 5-year contract that we advertised for. And so once the final calculation was performed by procurement, DJ Landscape's bid submission was no longer deemed the lowest or the most responsible bid. In addition to the pricing sheet that they resubmitted clarifying their pricing, they failed to include pricing for section C of the pricing sheet, which is for as needed services. And so at this moment, DWSD also has a motion in the new business area recommending sending the protest to the finance committee and the board, but recommending from procurement that the protest be denied. And so attached to that memo of correspondence, you'll see the bid tabulation, you'll see their actual protest, you'll see a copy of the memo with procurement's findings for you all to use for an evaluation and review to make your decision. And so I just wanted to give that overview commentary in addition to what was published here.
Okay, thank you. So all in favor to receive correspondence, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. This motion passes. Next up is unfinished business. We have none. Now we have new business. 2025 TAC 160, motion regarding DJ's landscape management protests regarding Detroit Water and Sewer Department, RFB 534440 for ground maintenance services. I'm assuming that was the remarks that you just made. Is that correct, Mrs. Welch?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
good afternoon, Nakia Branch Benson, Deputy General Counsel. As it relates to this motion, the way the wording is drafted, it's for this body to decide whether it wants to accept or deny the protest that was submitted. So if the board is ready to vote, when it reads the motion, it would need to indicate whether it wants to accept or deny the protest.
Is there a recommendation from the staff?
Marquesha, did you want to? Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to get off the mute. My apologies. Yes, the procurement department is recommending denial for the protest, just on the basis that once we've done the final evaluation of the bid pricing, their pricing was highlighted and typed in to equate to $228,455, but that was only based on an annual cost and not the 5-year cost. And then they failed to include all of the proper pricing when they resubmitted for clarification. And so we're recommending a denial so that we can award to the next equalized lowest bidder.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Well,
I'd like to-
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I move that on review of the June 24, 2025 protest from DJ's Landscape Management regarding Detroit Water and Sewage Department request for bid number 534440 for grounds and maintenance services, and review of original bid submission, bid tabulation, and summary of actions taken by DWSD procurement, the Board of Water Commissioners of the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department denies the protest and directs the director to act in accordance with this action.
Support.
All right. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any negative votes? Hearing none, motion is passed. Not to accept it. So. Next up, Madam Chair, would you like to have the con back or you want me to continue?
You are doing a fabulous job. You can please continue. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Well, thank you for that vote of confidence. Next up under new business is 2025 TAC 143. Commissioners, what is your pleasure?
Mr. Chair, I move that the Board of Water, that the Finance Committee recommend to the Board of Water Commissioners to authorize the Director to approve Amendment Number 1 to DWSD Contract 6006874 with Super Construction LLC for hydro excavation in the Grandmont Community Neighborhood of Detroit by adding $165,685 in funding for total amended contract amount not to exceed $600,000. No change to contract terms or conditions or the expiring date of 1/27/2026.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, this DWSD, we did receive a $600,000 grant for this hydro excavation services. The original contract was awarded in a lesser amount due to the bids that were advertised. So the bids came in at a lower amount. They were $434,000 and some odd change. And this amendment will allow us to align the DWSD contract and utilize all of the grant funding and increase the amount of services that are allocated to that neighborhood. There is no change to the scope of work or any of the terms and conditions. And so DWSD is just presenting to the Finance Committee for approval and movement to full board for consent.
Okay, excellent. All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any negative votes? Hearing none, this motion passes. Next line item, number C, 2025 TAC 144. Commissioners, what is your pleasure, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we recommend to the Board of Water Commissioners the approval of DWSD contract 6007251 DSW 971 with LGC Global Inc. and Detroit Grounds Crew joint venture for catch basin inspection, repair, and replacement for a total amount not to exceed $7,440,164 in a term of 3 years, and also authorizing the director to act appropriately.
Support.
It has been moved and supported. Any further discussion?
Yes, this contract supports DWSD's field operations with catch basin inspection, repairs, and replacement. Catch basins are critical for controlling surface water runoff, and they also help to prevent localized flooding by capturing stormwater. Some of the benefits to be provided under this contract includes aging infrastructure, flood mitigation, regulatory compliance, and operational efficiency. We did advertise bids for 35 days. We received 2 bids, Lakeshore or LGC as a joint venture with Detroit Grounds Crew. They were the lowest responsive bidders. LGC holds 3 Detroit Creole certification and Detroit Grounds Crew holds 4 Detroit certifications. And so at this time, procurement is recommending to the Finance Committee for approval and movement to full board.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, this motion passes.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Sure.
just real briefly, I will remind everyone that last month we approved a contract that will allow us to increase our sewer cleaning. That, in addition to about this $2.5 million annual spend on repairing catch basins, should help us get caught up on many of the complaints that our customers have brought to our attention, in getting caught up on the backlog of catch basins that are either falling in or in need of service. So just this is in addition to what we're already doing, not a replacement of.
Mr. Smalley, I'd also like to commend you and the team. I see we had another joint venture where we teamed LGC with Detroit Grounds Crew. So I want to commend you on that. I think I'm hopefully we'll see more of those opportunities for smaller businesses to team with bigger companies.
Our former business opportunity director introduced us to Detroit Grounds Crew. They did a fabulous job on tree trimming and some other activities. So we're glad to see them expanding into other areas.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. We're moving to line item number E, 2025 TAC 146. I'll take this one.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Sure.
We're actually on letter D.
E.
D. Okay, my fault. I'll take it though. I'd like to recommend to the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewer Department to authorize directors to approve DWSD contract number 6007258 WS TAC 741 with LGC Global Incorporated for water system improvements for a total contract amount not to exceed $13,892,423 and for a term of 2 years. This also authorizes directors to take such other actions as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote. Is there a second?
Supported.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded. Any discussion, please?
Yes, this contract supports our engineering team by replacing and rehabilitating existing water mains throughout the city of Detroit. The work is for approximately 22,000 linear square feet of water main, including existing lead service lines along that stretch of piping. We advertised bids for 35 days. We did receive 3 bids, and 1 bid was deemed non-responsive due to failure to meet the minimum qualifications for their project superintendent having enough years of experience with this field work. LGC again came in as the lowest responsive bidder. They do hold 3 Creole certifications as a Detroit-based and a Detroit headquarter business, as well as a minority-owned business. And so procurement at this time is recommending to finance for approval and movement to full board.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, this motion passes. Line item number E, 2025 TAC 146. Commissioners, what is your pleasure, please?
Mr. Chair, I would recommend on behalf of the Finance Committee to recommend to the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit to approve DWSD contract 67278 with Johnson Controls Fire Protection, piggyback off the City of Detroit's contract 6006407 for fire systems plan services for a total contract amount not to exceed $250,000 and an expiration date of 7/31/27.
Support.
It has been moved and supported. Any further discussion?
Yes, this piggyback contract is for fire system services with Johnson Controls. This contract supports our facility group and will provide all parts and labor necessary to inspect, test, and perform routine preventative maintenance as well as emergency service calls as it relates to all of DWSD's fire alarm systems and their fire suppressant systems throughout the 5 DWSD locations. This is a piggyback from the City of Detroit's contract, and it was approved by City Council in July of 2024. The supplier has agreed that the work that they would perform under the piggyback contract will not impact the services that they currently provide for the City of Detroit. And so we're recommending to the Finance Committee for approval and movement to full board.
Excellent. Thank you. At this time, all in favor?
Support.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any abstentions? Any negative votes? Hearing none, this motion passes. Next up, line item F, 2025 TAC 153. Commissioners.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the committee recommend to the Board of Water Commissioners approval of DWSD contract 6007287 for project DWS 977 with LGC Global Inc. for sewer improvements throughout the City of Detroit for a total contract amount not to exceed $769,962 for a term of 2 years and authorize the director to take such action as is necessary.
Support.
It has been moved and supported. Any further discussion, please?
Yes, this contract also supports our engineering group with sewer improvement work throughout the City of Detroit. DWSD's engineering team have identified sewers for intervention based on previous condition assessment contracts that were executed by the board or approved by the board. This contract will be funded by the State of Michigan revolving funds, which is issued to us through the State of Michigan Eagle. The primary work includes repair of failed or collapsed storm and sanitary sewers, and may also include relining and rehabilitation of sewer piping. Procurement did advertise for 31 days. We received 2 bids, and LGC was the lowest responsive bidder. They do have all of their valid clearances, and again, they are Detroit certified in 3 different CREO certifications, and procurement is recommending to the board, to finance to move to the full board for approval.
Thank you. Any other questions, concerns? At this time, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? This motion also passes. Line item G, 2025 TAC 147, Finance Committee presentation.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Brown. How are you?
How are you?
Great.
Istukur Ramans, Chief Financial Officer in DWSD. Today, I'll be presenting the financial highlights for the month of April 2025. Nothing unusual to report. It's financial highlights are pretty steady and consistent. I'll go to. I'm sorry. All right, so financial highlights are here on the first page is the April 25 highlights for operating cash. We will start with our cash and investments position for the month of April. on a system-wide basis, we have $279.1 million in a combined cash position, which includes the operating fund, the improvement and extension fund, the construction fund, and the trust account held by GLWA. You'll see there's a decrease overall in our cash position by $3.7 million when we compare it to March balance. Decreases mainly can be seen in operating accounts, operating cash for both water and sewer to the tune of $4.8 million. Construction accounts had a decrease of $8.9 million, which was offset by increases in I&E account, roughly $6 million, and the trust account of approximately $4 million. All of these you'll see as we go through the various cash accounts. First is the water operating cash at $8.9 million as of April. It's a decrease of 2.7 compared to the previous month. And the decrease is mainly due to higher payments for our accounts payable, as well as there was some adjustment to the operating and maintenance transfer from GLWA for the month of April. So the combination of two accounts for about $2 million in decrease for the water operating cash. The sewer operating cash had $23.8 million, again, a decrease of roughly a little over $2 million. Once again, the same reasons. We had higher accounts payable that we paid out in the month of April. Again, it's a timing difference, as well as there was an adjustment to the O&M transfer from the trust account, which resulted in a decrease of another $1 million. The next slide is improvement and extension fund. We continue to we continue to spend down our I&E as well as construction cash in support of our capital improvement program. Water I&E had $22.8 million, reflecting an increase of $4.3 million over the previous month. The net increase is due to a combination of several factors, such as disbursements for capital projects, offset by reimbursements we received from our funding sources, mainly SRF. Also, there was some transfer from the construction account to the I&E account in the month of April, which was really monies that were paid out of construction. The monies that were paid initially out of I&E that should have been a construction account transfer. So there was a transfer for the water fund. For the sewer I&E cash, roughly $50 million at the end of the month, showing an increase of $1.8 million, which is again due to reimbursements we received for the SRF projects in April. Construction cash, both water as well as sewer, you'll see decreases in balances, and simply because of all the capital projects that are going on and the disbursements for the CIP projects. This is summertime, all the construction work is going on, so we expect the construction balance to go down due to the completion of the CIP projects. Moving on to cash held in the trust account by GLWA. For the water fund, we had $32 million. At month end, it's an increase of $2.5 million over March. Increases better collection for the month of April, as well as a slightly lower transfer for O&M required for the month of April. Roughly about $1 million less in transfer from the trust account because of the formula that was reset. Retail water receipts of $11.7 million in April was higher than March's receipt of $8.9 million. And of course, and it exceeded our target collection for the month by $2.5 million. Our target collection for the month of April was $9.2 million in the water fund. In the sewer cash held in trust, we have $42.7 million at month end. Again, a slight increase of $1.4 million compared to March. Increases again, better collection in the month of April, and some transfers in O&M, which was about $1 million less than what is normally transferred. Retail receipts, 25.3 million exceeded our target collection by $1.3 million. Our target collection for the sewer fund is $24 million for the month. It also exceeded our March receipts of $23.9 million. Moving on from cash and investments to our accounts receivable status as of April, our April sales of $40.7 million remain consistent with our March sales. If you look at the chart, it's identical almost, difference of $7,000. We had a receivable of active accounts of $321.5 million, which is again a slight increase of $900,000 on an overall basis when you compare it to the receivables as of March, which was $320.6 million. April, as I mentioned before, we had slightly better month in terms of collection. Our collection amounted to $37.6 million compared to March's collection of 33.7. So we had $4.3 million higher collection in April than March. And this is mainly due to timing of cash receipts. We had some more cash receipts in April, especially in the governmental class. Active residential accounts receivable continue to increase. At this time around, it was 1% or approximately $2.1 million. And the aging increased by 6 days in April. Allowance for doubtful collections, we continue to provide for allowances for accounts that we deem uncollectible or doubtful of collection. Our collection allowance for doubtful collection rate is at 76.6% for the month of April, and it's consistent over previous month as well as the months before. Yeah, so the total net receivable is $91 million. That includes the money that we have transferred to the city and the county for tax roll. This shows a slight decrease from March in terms of our net receivables from $93.2 million to $91.7. This chart here is the collection rates history over the last 3 months in terms of the 3-month moving average. Residential collection rates for the last 3 months averaged 77.2%. April collections increased to 82.6% compared to 77.5% in March and 73.4% in February. Commercial and industrial both are good stories in terms of collections. We continue to show positive results in terms of our collection rates. Drainage only for the month of April stood at 82.2, which I'm not totally dissatisfied. As long as it's over 85%, that's reasonable. Although the goal is maybe low 90s for our collection for both residential as well as drainage. So slight improvement, but it's still not out of concern. We continue to expect a higher collection for both the residential as well as drainage only customers. On an overall basis, April combined collection rate was 91.4% for all active customer classes, and certainly boosted by commercial and industrial customer classes. This was higher than our March collection combined rate of 82.7%. The 3-month moving average for all active accounts stood at 87%, which is an improvement from 85.5% that we reflected in March. Changing gears to our matrix and revenues for the water commodity matrix and revenues for the month of April, we exceeded the budget by $8.9 million. When you compare to the similar period of April of 2024, this is a 9.1% increase. And when you compare it to March, which is the immediately preceding month, we had a 1.6% lower than that month. On a year-to-date basis, however, water volume was 1.1% over the budget. The related commodity revenue also exceeded the budget for the month by 10.9%. but it was 1.9% lower than the previous month. But when you compare to April of 2024, it was 13.4% above. On a year-to-date basis, our revenues was 3.1% above seasonally adjusted budget. Looking at the survey charge and the related matrix, for the month of April, our meter equivalents exceeded the budget again by 2.5%, but was 0.1% lower than last month. Comparing to previous April of 2024, we were 3.5% below. On a year-to-date basis, we are still exceeding the budget by 2.9%. The accompanying revenues for the survey charges exceeded the budget for the month by 3.2% and was steady when you compare it to March revenue. Excuse me, and 3% above April of 2024. On a year-to-date basis, we are exceeding the budget so far by 3.2%. Going over quickly, the sewer commodity matrix and revenues, no concern here at this point in time. We continue to exceed the budget for the volume by 4.3%, although we are slightly lower in 4.3% compared to March. March, as we went through last month, was unusually high, both for water as well as sewer. For some reason, the month of March produced higher matrix for both the water and sewer fund, as well as when you compare to March of 2024. So something in the month of March that produces results that exceeds budget pretty significantly. On a year-to-date basis, sewer volume was 1.4% the budget. Again, this is April. We still have 2 more months to complete the fiscal year. April commodity revenues exceeded the budget by 3%. And again, March, when you compare to March, it was slightly lower. On a year-to-date basis, commodity revenue is 1.1% under budget. And my hope is we will meet the budget expectation by the time the year-end reports come out. Service charge matrix for the sewer, the meter counts exceeded budget by 3.7%. On a year-to-date basis, we exceeded the budget by 4.3%. On the revenue side, related to the service charges, the service matrix, we exceeded the budget by 3.8% for the month. And compared to the last month, the last year, April 24, it was 2.6% over. On a year-to-date basis, we have a 4.1% exceeding the budget. And the last slide here for the month of April is the drainage charge matrix and revenues. The BIA, which is the billable impervious acres, exceeded the budget by slightly by 0.3%, but it was consistent with March BIA, as well as a year-to-date BIA was 0.2% over budget. So pretty much on target for as far as the BIA is concerned. Actual drainage revenue, however, fell short of the budget for the month by 3% and was 1.3% even lower compared to March. On a year-to-date basis, our drainage charge revenue was 3.9% under budget. And this is again mainly due to not so much for the BIA, it's also because of additional residential as well as green credits we offer our customers for the drainage charges. So even though BIA is consistent, revenues can sometimes be lower because of additional credits. Nothing alarming at this point. We do hope that we will cover some grounds in terms of the drainage charge revenues as the year end approaches. That completes the presentation for the month of April. Any questions? I'll be happy to answer.
Are there any questions?
No, sir.
And for me.
Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Are there any other matters at this time to be brought before the body? Seeing none, our next meeting is scheduled for August 6, 2025. Request a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
It
Second.
has been seconded. This meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
You. Thank you, Commissioner.
Perfect timing.
Right.
Time now is 1:45. I'd like to call the Capital Improvement Program and Operations Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Chairperson Coleman,
Present, Detroit, Michigan.
Commissioner Davis,
Present, Detroit, Michigan.
and Commissioner Kinlock.
Present, Detroit, Michigan.
All right. Sir, we have a quorum today.
Got a full house. I like that. I like that. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing, fellow commissioners?
Good.
I'd like to call
Doing
for.
great, Mr. Chairman.
Great, great. I'd like to call for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Support Chinlock.
It has been moved and supported by Commissioner Kinlock. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any abstentions? Any noes? Hearing none, the agenda is approved. Next up, approval of the minutes. Commissioners.
Move approval with any necessary corrections. Chinlock.
Support.
It has been moved and supported. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any abstentions? Any no votes? Hearing none. We have approved the minutes from June 4th, 2025. At this time, line item number 5, any public participation?
Mr. Chair, Brian Peckinpah again, Public Affairs Director. We do have attendees on here from the public, and I do not see any hands raised, as well as I do not see any new attendees who have attended that need the instructions at this time. I don't have any hands raised for this meeting.
Okay, excellent. Going once, going twice. Okay, next line item, communications. I see we have none. Line item 7, unfinished business. We have none. New business. I don't see any on our docket today. Planning calendar, nothing scheduled.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
we originally had the GLWA 5-year CIP scheduled for this meeting. We had to move it to next month, so that would be the only change to the planning calendar.
Okay, appreciate that update. Thank you. Are there any other matters to be brought before the body at this time?
Mr. Chair, if I may, I'd like to give a brief update on the water quality event that we had over the last week.
Sure.
I'm going to share my screen briefly. Is the pink and greenish map showing?
Yes.
So starting on Monday, we experienced a cloudiness or turbidity within the drinking water system that was limited to the downtown area. Basically, it was an area bounded between Waterworks Park, Water Treatment Plant, Woodward, up to Lafayette. What happened is GLWA is doing some yard piping improvements at the Waterworks Water Treatment Plant. As part of that work, they had to reverse the flow in some large diameter pipelines. That can often lead to stirring up any sediment or cloudiness that may exist in those pipelines. It happened on a main running north-south on Cadillac and also a 48-inch in Jefferson. We didn't experience any cloudiness on the Cadillac work, but we did experience cloudiness or turbidity on the Jefferson main that showed up early in the morning on Monday. Throughout this entire process, we've been taking bacteriological tests, and all of those tests have come back good, meaning there's no bacteria in the water. Our crews from both GLWA and DWSD were flushing the systems systematically, basically 24/7. We did not stop. So the men and women were out there working around the clock to get this cloudiness out of both of our systems just as fast as possible. We do ask that whenever there is a concern about water quality or a concern about sinkhole or anything, please give us a call at 267-8000 or C-Click-Fix or the Improved Detroit app. It is essential, especially in issues like this, that we get that data. The red dots that you see on the map are the logged water quality complaints that we received. Obviously, many more people were impacted than this data shows. But because people may be either emailing or texting friends, or they know someone within the department, again, please give us a call, 267-8000, or C-Click-Fix, or the Improve Detroit app. If anyone has any continuing or lingering water quality concerns, GLWA will come out and test your water for free. GLWA's water quality group can be reached at 313-926-8143. Again, 313-926-8143. We believe that we have removed all the cloudiness or turbidity from both the transmission system and the distribution system. If you are still experiencing some cloudy or tainted water, it's important to flush your household plumbing or your building plumbing. Some of the larger buildings may refer back to instructions that were given after COVID, when buildings started to become reoccupied. For households, we have flushing instructions on our lead safe webpage. Basically, you start in the basement, you open up all the fixtures, you go to the next floor up, you open all the fixtures, then you go to the top floor, you open all the fixtures, and then you shut them in that same order, starting in the basement. And again, if you have any concerns about your water quality, GLWA will be happy to come out. We apologize for the inconvenience, but we worked around the clock to get it out of our system just as fast as we possibly could. Thank you,
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I would like to extend my deepest appreciation to Deputy Director Smalley. This is within my county commission district. I started getting emails and telephone calls, and Mr. Smalley and his team reached out to the residents in my district in this impacted area in a timely fashion. And I want to extend my definite appreciation, because there was a lot of frustration in trying to identify what was going on. And Mr. Smalley got back with them very quickly. And so I just wanted to extend my appreciation to Mr. Smalley and then DWSD staff that helped facilitate these conversations.
Thank you, Commissioner. The congratulations or the appreciation really goes to our MVPs, our field service techs, who worked around the clock, checking the turbidity, making sure that we got the water cleaned up just as fast as we possibly could. But thank you. I will relay that.
Thank you. Thank you for identifying the staff team that was involved. And please send that communication. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Our next meeting is scheduled for August 6, 2025. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
Move to adjourn.
Has been moved.
Support.
And supported. All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Hello. Hi. Maybe they can see me.
Yeah. We're able to hear you and see you.
today's date?
Today's the second.
Commissioner Garcia, we can see and hear you.
Who showed up? A lot of people?
Eva, Linda Clark, Belda, myself, and Dr. Thomas. But Belda, I can't hear anything.
Hmm?
Good afternoon. I'd like to call the customer service.
Anything ain't happening.
I know, I can see them.
Huh?
I can see them, but I just can't hear anything.
Yes. So, available? Yeah.
You straighten them up. It's good.
I'll serve you.
Excuse me, Commissioner Blackman, it's very
I'm
hard to
sorry.
hear
I can,
you.
hello, I can see you all, but I can't hear. I don't know what's going on.
Commissioner Blackman, you're very, very faint.
Because we can't hear you.
I did,
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
No, I'm saying, can you mute yourself because I can hear.
I hear something in the background, but I would like to call the Customer Service Committee meeting to order. It is now, I think it's a minute past. Would you please, Mr. Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Chairperson Blackman,
President Detroit,
Commissioner Forte,
Present.
and Commissioner Garcia. I know she's having tech issues, but we have a quorum.
thank you very much. Hope you can get her online as quickly as possible. We are now going to ask for approval of the agenda as presented,
Move approval.
and I would support. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. And then the next item is the approval of minutes. I would move approval of the minutes of June 4th, 2025.
Support that.
Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The next item is public participation. Is there anyone who has expressed an interest to speak before this committee?
Madam Chair, we do have a hand raised, but at this time, I'd like to remind the attendees to raise your hand so that we can acknowledge you. And we'll first acknowledge Cecily McClellan, but please make sure to state your full name and the organization or the community you're representing, because we want to make sure to put those in the minutes for the meeting. And then again, Madam Chair, the first person is Cecily McClellan.
Welcome, Ms. McClellan. Would you please present your concern?
Yes, Cecily McClellan. I'm a representative of We the People of Detroit. I'd just like to encourage, as we shared before last month, that there is legislation on the state level, House Bill 4555, for water affordability. Now, that House bill does provide an income-based water billing. It has debt forgiveness, and it also provides water shutoff protection. It is our belief that if we get a statewide program, that resources will be made available throughout the state as well as locally to ensure that our residents have access who are low income. I'd like to share that, over the past several months, we've been receiving numerous calls in regards to assistance with water bills. In many instances, these are residents that have already applied for the Easy Pay program, and because of the amount of their monthly payment, they have not been able to keep it up. So therefore, they're in default. We have some that are have defaulted and looking for assistance so they can catch up with their bill. But it just illuminates the fact that when you reported in January that you had of the 18,000 enrolled in Easy Pay, you had approximately 8,000 that were successful, and at that point you were looking at a 47% success rate. In May, you the way you report the data is slightly different. When you say current, but you had 28,000 over 28,000 enrolled, and you had 17,620 that were current. So that showed a 38% well, really that's a 38% failure rate. So it just illuminates the fact that a water affordability program is definitely needed. We've been looking around to see where there could be any assistance provided. Wayne Metro did have the local water utility affordable program that allows up to 3,000, but that program is no longer available. Department of Human Services provides a minuscule amount, probably less than 200. So if you have a large arrearage, it can't be helpful as well. So it's just becomes increasingly important that if we want to keep water on for our low income, fixed income residents, that we need to have a water affordability program. We need to have a commitment from DWSD and from GLEWA to ensure that there are sufficient resources available. And we need to open up the Detroit Lifeline program to ensure that as many persons possible can be enrolled in that program. Thank you.
Madam Chair, at this time, we have no other hands raised. Second call for hands to be raised for public comment. We do have Mr. Miko Williams just raised his hand, Madam Chair.
Hello, hi, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I've been having problems with Zoom lately. I don't know what's going on. But hello, everyone. My name is D'Amico Williams. I'm the Chief Executive Director of Hydrate Detroit. We provide help with water bills and provide consultation for people with help with water bills. I wanted to come to address this board today to please support the Hydrate Detroit Share Water Donation Drive happening on Saturday, August 9th. Wow. Can I get my time back? Or pause?
I don't know. Is that on your end?
No, the director just took a call. Okay, but anyway, the Hydrate Detroit Share Water Donation Drive aims to raise funds for people with their water shut off or having problems with their water bills. And we help people in the thousands of dollars. So I want to do this because it's very important to connect with the community, but also to make sure that anybody that needs help can pull up and show up. And we would like to request the Detroit Water and Sewage Department to come out and provide information for the Easy Pay. I really wish you could sign people up for this on site. We're very happy of the options available to sign up, but we want to make sure that everyone gets the information and that I want to make an effort to turn out. You know, I get very disappointed that organizations that get millions of dollars can't do the simple engagement of community. I'm very ashamed that I was not able to get a hold of the contract that the human flyers received. We have not gotten a report or PowerPoint presentation of their effectiveness. And when I saw the bidding of the contracts of who all were there, how was their process servers and not community? I have rapport and relationships, thankfully, with the community of Detroit, that people could call our phone. Anybody could call 313-279-0608 and they can reach me if they're having a problem. I'm worried also about the Easy Pay. Now, I promoted this program with the hopes that we can get people settled and not have to deal with the fear of water shutoffs. But as I look at those 10,000 people, I want to know where those 10,000 people broke their payment plan and how much were their debts. Were there in the thousands of dollars? Because that's the only people that I know that could be eligible to break a plan if the bill is too high. Also, it's not broken down as to who all owes in the tiers of 100 versus 100 to 500, 500 to 1,000, 1,000 to $5,000. I would like to see that information at a later date if possible. I think it will make a lot of sense. And what was the success rate on the Easy Pay of how many people cashed out in the thousands of dollars? Thank you so much for taking my comment. Have a great day.
Madam Chair, the next person is Norel Hemphill. Norel Hemphill.
Thank you. Ms. Hemphill, please proceed. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Peace and blessings. My name is Norel Hemphill. I'm the Legal and Policy Manager at We the People Detroit, and I'm a Detroit resident living in District 4. I want to echo what Ms. Cecily McClellan said about House Bill 4555. That's 4555. 55. That is the first bill in our Affordable Water Now bill package. This will provide a pathway for low-income residents and those who are most at risk of losing their access to water to have access to clean, safe, and affordable water. It is our belief that every person, regardless of income, regardless of demographic, regardless of location in the state of Michigan, deserves uninterrupted access to clean, safe, and affordable water. We believe that we should have a moratorium on water shutoffs, especially now in these hot summer months when water is essential to not only cleaning yourself and your residents, but to hydration. We've been in the middle of a very hot summer, so water is essential to help people cool off and stay safe. It's also essential to hygiene. As we mentioned before, in 2016, Detroit set in the highest outbreak of hepatitis A in the nation. And we know that that could have been prevented if people had access to water. During COVID, while Detroit makes up, Black people in Detroit make about 14% of the state of Michigan. We at one point accounted for 40% of the deaths in the whole state right here in the city of Detroit. So water is essential to life. Water is essential to all parts of life. So again, we just ask that you do support that House bill. We know that you've supported other efforts in the past, and we're just asking that you support this one in all efforts for water assistance and water affordability that allows Detroiters to have access to water. And I do have one question. I did write a letter, I drafted a letter to this committee, and that letter was forwarded over to your FOIA department. I would like to know why that correspondence was forwarded. And it did take about just under 60 days for us to receive a response, and that had not been the cadence or the way that things have been handled in the past. So I was just curious to know what was different. Thank you.
Ms. Campbell, and we'll certainly get a response from you regarding that letter. Is there anyone else who has asked to be heard at this committee?
Madam Chair, those were the only hands raised.
Thank you. And I would just, Mr. Director, I would like to get some sort of response on the last issue that was raised by Ms. Hempel regarding the correspondence.
Yeah, Matt, did you respond to that, or who responded to the letter?
Yeah, that was a joint, Director Brown, that was a joint response between customer service, myself, and the legal department, and we did respond in the time frame that when we originally received the message by the Board of Water Commissioners. So we kept within the time frame, which was 30 days.
Well, that's certainly different from what you just reported. I don't know why that would be that discrepancy. So thank you very much for letting us know that you did respond appropriately and in a timely manner. I don't recall seeing that. Did you send that to us, Matt?
Yes, we did. It was part of the record.
I've been having some difficulty getting my correspondence, so I'll follow up on it. Okay. Well, thank you for letting us know that we did respond and we did respond in a timely manner. Is there anyone else who has expressed anything to us?
Madam Chair, there are no other public comments or hands raised for public comment.
Manner and in an appropriate manner to the correspondence to you. I don't know what we can do about that, but I certainly want to time that are not
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, you're breaking up. I don't know if anyone else is having that issue, but we can't,
I am. I can't hear
can't
Madam
hear
Chair
you.
clearly.
It's better,
It's better.
not good, huh? Well, my comment was, I would not want anyone listening or to get the information that we're not responding to requests that we received. And so I was glad to hear the clarification that we had responded. And if there's any concern on the part of our customer base that they did not get what they needed or from the department, they could contact us again and let us know what they did not get back. Because according to what you're saying is that you did respond, and I didn't get it in my email, but that's because I know I've been having difficulty. Okay, moving right along. Is there anything else you would like to say at this time regarding the comments that were made, Mr. Director, or do you want to just go ahead?
No, there's nothing else that I want to say other than, you know, we certainly try to get everything responded to within 30 days. Sometimes when you have multiple departments involved, such as this response, there were 3 different departments involved. It may take a slightly longer amount of time, but we'll get back with Ms. Hemphill and try to get a better understanding of the difference in time frame.
Far more significantly, I think it should be very clear that we have been working diligently to try to get funds for our customers who are in need. And I don't want anyone to get the impression that we have not worked, I think, in yeoman fashion to try to make sure that we can assist our customers who are in need.
Yeah, you're right, Madam Chair. We're working at the federal level, the state level. We're working with philanthropic organizations. We're looking in every nook and cranny to find dollars. What we can't do is use rate dollars. And so neither GLEWA nor DWSD can use rate dollars for this purpose. So we'll continue. We have lobbyists, we have lawyers, we're working with state representatives. I know that We the People mentioned state legislation that's out there. We're on top of that legislation, and we're looking for every dollar we can find.
Thank you very much. We do have congressional people who make comments about this. Are we receiving any help from any of them?
No, we're not at this time. Not at this time. We're not.
Okay, thank you very much. So that ends our public participation. And we'll move on to communications, receipt of correspondence. Is there a motion?
So move, Madam Chair.
There's support. I will support that we file correspondence for Shane and Lafayette and West Hancock and Cass. Is there further discussion? All those in favor, please.
Aye.
And those opposed say nay. And thank you very much. That motion passes. We're down to unfinished business. We have none. New business. Mr. Phillips, we're going to have, I think you said someone else is going to present the customer service presentation today. Mr.
Madam
Phillips?
Chair, yes.
All right, very
Ms.
good.
Crowell will be presenting this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Crowell. Good to see you.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Blackman and other commissioners. How are you today?
Very good. And you?
Good. I'm doing great.
I'm sort of yelling now to make sure I can be heard, so I hope I'm not.
No problem.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Matt. So during the month of June, we received over 55,800 customer calls and we responded to more than 6,800 emails, which nearly brings us to a little bit over 62,600 direct contacts. We averaged about 3,100 customer interactions per day, which is double what we currently plan for. With our customer service calls, our emails, and our online service, we had over 151,500 total interactions for the month. That's a 124% increase over our expected daily volume. Now, because of this spike, only 11% of our calls were answered in under 2 minutes. Next slide. On average, it took us about 9 minutes to answer emergency calls and about 26 minutes for non-emergency calls. Even with our high volumes, our customer service satisfaction remained strong at 82%, and we were able to fully resolve customer issues on the first call 72% of the time. I would like to say that we have now exceeded our satisfaction target for 22 months in a row, which is a clear indication that customers continue to value the services that they're receiving from our agents. Next slide. This slide here, it gives us a look at our performance over the last 6 months. Again, we were 124% over our forecast volume. During this time, we were also short by 15 full-time staff agents, which added even more pressure on the team. However, despite these challenges, we continue to deliver consistent service. And that's all that I have for the slides. I will now turn it, if there's no questions, I can turn it over to Matthew Phillips. He's going to present the other slides in the presentation.
Before we continue, are there any questions or concerns by committee members? Hearing none, please, Mr. Phillips, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll move on to the planning calendar as the next item on the agenda. We're going to be looking at the customer service metrics and payment methods on which our customers are paying us on a monthly basis. Overall, 142,000 residents are currently registered on our online portal, which allows them not only to see their bill, but to see the amount of use of water usage on a monthly basis, but it also allows them to pay the bill for multiple accounts at one time. Currently, 53% of all of our customers are paying their bills online, which is an increase of 12 points over the last 12 months. Overall, 80% of our customers are paying by electronic methods, which is an increase from 70% in 2024. So we continue to see our residents and our customers continue to use electronic means of communication as well as payments. Mailed payments that come in, that's usually a check that goes with the bill in an envelope that goes through the United States Postal Service, saw a reduction of 12 points in the past 12 months. And use of the DIVDAT kiosks, as well as making phone payments, relatively stayed the same over the last 12 months, although we did see a 2-point drop in each one of those categories, which was, as you can see, picked up by the online portal. Any questions about how our customers are currently doing business with us as far as a financial perspective?
Questions, committee members? Please proceed, sir.
Madam Chair?
Oh, Commissioner Garcia.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Commissioner Garcia, can you hear me?
I think she can hear us.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I think we're getting some feedback from her microphone. I think she was waving us to move on.
Okay.
We can come back to Commissioner Garcia.
Okay.
All right, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
She's back. Are you there, Commissioner? Okay, keep going.
All right. As far as the Lifeline program goes,
hopefully you can hear me. I'm having trouble. I cannot hear you unless I'm on the phone, but I just wanted to make sure that Mr. Phillips knows that we've been so comfortable with all the information that is given by the customers, and that our agency, LACE, has a direct contact to get some of these issues taken care of. And I think customer service is the greatest I've ever seen it. And I just want to commend you and your staff, sir. Okay?
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah,
hopefully you heard that.
We did hear that, Commissioner Garcia. Thank you very much. And we will ensure we'll take a little clip of this and share it with all of our customer service representatives, because they truly are the ones that are providing that service. So we'll make sure that they hear your comments for sure. Thank you. All right, looking at the Lifeline program, Madam Chair, there is currently 8,134 residents that are or not residents, but accounts that are currently receiving the Lifeline benefit. We've provided over $6.6 million in gap payments. That's the difference between the $18 Lifeline payment and the actual bill, which averages about $90 a month. And we've provided over $1 million in arrearage forgiveness with the Lifeline program. We have approximately 52% of that base on Lifeline that have made a payment or a partial payment in the last 30 days, and 3,850 that it did not make a payment, or 48%. And that is as of July 1st, so yesterday, at the end of the month. So it doesn't mean that they won't make a payment today, but that's just currently where we stand. And the Easy Pay program, we currently have 32,397 accounts that are currently on Easy Pay. They have paid over $8.6 million in arrearage payments since last July 30th is when we actually went live with the Easy Pay program, and 67% of the individuals or accounts that are on Easy Pay are current with their payments and or have completed the plan, which means that they've completely paid off their Easy Pay balance. That's approximately 2,200 individuals. So we just wanted to say thank you to all those individuals that are on Easy Pay. The program seems to be a very successful one in taking all of the arrearages and providing a 36-month payment plan with no interest, and keeping all those individuals that are currently on the program protected from shutoff. And that concludes the customer service presentation.
Questions or concerns by committee members? Mr. Fields, a very good report.
Tamara, you can go ahead and take over the agenda.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to comment that was Kimberly and Matt did a great job with the presentations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We're at the planning calendar now.
We just completed the planning calendar, item number 9.
Is there any other
Madam Chair?
before the committee? Any other matters? Since I hear none, our next meeting is August 6, 2025. Chair will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
The meeting stands adjourned. I can't believe it.
We finished on time, Madam Chair. Congratulations.
And the same to you, sir. Thank you.
First time for everything.
Commendations in order.
Right.
Hey,
I'm gonna be off tomorrow, but I'm in town.
yeah.
I'm on cell phone if anything comes.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is now 2:30, and we will call the Human Resources Committee to order. From our board secretary, could we have a roll call, please?
Yeah. Chairperson Davis.
Present, Detroit, Michigan.
Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. Marion, can you take over? I'm having technical difficulties right now.
Commissioner Garcia. Commissioner Black.
Present Detroit.
Present Detroit.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, could I ask for a moment before you get started?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we lost two employees. Carl Williams worked in our IT department. And we also lost Charles Clark in our security department. And we lost him this week. We had a funeral for Carl. We had more employees there than we had, or at least a third of our of the people at the church were DWSD staff. These were people that were more like family than colleagues. And so I want to ask for a moment of silence for both.
Absolutely. So be it. Can we have a moment of silence, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right. You're very welcome. God be with their families and all the employees and those that knew and loved them. All right. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Approval, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second? Is there a second for the motion to approve the agenda?
Commissioner Garcia, can you hear us? You're on mute, Commissioner.
Well, I'm going to second your motion.
Okay.
All in favor signify by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that motion is carried. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of June 4th?
Move approval, Mr. Chair.
And I'm going to second your motion again. All in favor signify by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that motion is carried. That brings us to public participation. Mr. Peckinpah, do we have any speakers?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we do. Just a friendly reminder to our public attendees to please state your full name for the record, as well as the community, neighborhood, or organization you're representing. And please make sure to raise your hand before we complete public comment, so we make sure to acknowledge you, as well as a friendly reminder that this is for public comment. This is not a time to request data. You can do that through FOIA or through the city website at detroitmi.gov. And we'll move forward, Mr. Chair, with the first person is Mr. D'Amico Williams.
Mr. Williams, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon. D'Amico Williams, Chief Executive Director, Hydrate Detroit, based right here in the great city of Detroit, Michigan. First of all, I want to give my condolences and prayers to the families of those that were lost from our water department. I just want to say thank you all for the work that you do. It's labor intensive, from the customer service all the way to digging holes and repairing the pipes. Thank you for all you do. And also, I just wanted to bring a question that we raised in the formal session, in the last formal session, in regards to workers not being on the clock, or they're not getting the hours, or there's potential cutbacks. And Sam Smalley addressed it to a point, but I think the point needed to be told, and I wanted to bring it to this committee, hopefully for Miss Patricia to expound on this overtime, on this potential layoff or cuts. Hopefully we're not cutting people for the services that we need. We're not cutting people for the meter operations, for the field tech, and also the projects that are lingering over time. These projects should have been done by now, and we don't have an accurate reporting if there's some people that are on the job, how this overtimes work. Sam Smalley explained it and clarified it, but I wanted to hear from Ms. Hemphill, how does that work? I'm going to respond to the results that was given in the customer service meeting in regards to the Easy Pay for 21,000 people. That is a great relief to hear, but it's also concerning that these people have not paid, especially those on the lifeline. There's 3,800 people, 3,850 people haven't paid. Why? What are the reasons? What's going on? Okay, yes, if I request any data and information in FOIA, which we know the FOIA process is flawed, you know, I'll send my questions in writing. It'll be of greater use. I heard about the DWSD fair, hiring fair at Triumph Church. Great to have, but I would like to see the DWSD do field engagement, going to the streets, having more events in different communities across Detroit to hire men and women for the water and sewage department. Hopefully this was the job that you could retire and make a living, but due to Mike Duggan's policies in the cities, we don't even know if we're even going to get a check from pension. And I pray for those in the union and those working that they do get a check and a pension. Thank you.
All right. Do we have any other speakers?
Mr. Chair, the next person is Gwendolyn Howard.
Welcome, ma'am.
Hi, had technical difficulty as well earlier, and I could not get my question through, but I'm glad it came after Matthew Phillips, because my question was due to Gwen Howard here with We the People of Detroit Water Peeps Division. My question was, because of the calls we've been getting about the Easy Pay, he said that so many had completed the program. The program was a 3-year rollout. If so many people are calling saying that they cannot pay that part, then how was it completed when it was stretched out for 36 months and it's only been active a little over a year? So I was curious about that, because I had looked at this report and I was going to ask that question, what was completed or continue, what that meant. He said it in his presentation that they had completed the payoff. So I would think that that may have been the people coming off a lifeline who didn't have a balance, really, because 36 months has not occurred. So to have completed a program that stretched out that long was curious to the data. And according to and to comment on what Commissioner Garcia said about responding. So my question was, the questions that we ask in public comment, and if we don't put them in writing, do anybody take notes and try to answer them, because it's 30 days before we talk to you guys again. So as a retired social worker, I take notes and I look for responses, and we don't get them. When you convene again, we didn't get answers to the questions that we asked before. Some of them are a little crucial, and you may respond right then at that time. So I'm just curious, do our questions just go by the wayside, that they don't render a response? And because we're not calling on the phone, so we're not in that customer service call. We're talking to you guys in person and wondering if somebody's going to get back with us. Sometimes the questions are deemed and they need to be answered right then, and they jump in and they answer right then. So didn't get to talk to you in those things, but thank you for taking my call.
All right, you're very welcome, ma'am. Is there another person that wishes to speak?
Mr. Chair, there are no other hands raised, but I did hear Director Brown was trying to jump in.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody in Easy Pay is low income. There's no income qualifications. Many of the folks that are in Easy Pay are high income earners, and they're able to pay off their bill well within the 3-year time limit. So life got in the way. They needed some help. but they didn't need 3 years in order to pay their bills off, and they've completely paid down their arrears, and they're no longer in the plan. So I don't want anyone to believe that everybody in Easy Pay is low income. They are not. There's no income qualification for Easy Pay. Everybody qualifies, businesses as well as high income earners. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brown. All right, we will now close public participation, which brings us to communications. I see there are none, nor do we have any unfinished business. And we're now at new business, and we'll call on HR Director, Ms. Jones.
Good afternoon. I will share once allowed. Okay, can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Tiffany Jones, Interim Human Resources and Organizational Director for Detroit Water and Sewage Department. I'd like to highlight our employees this month. We have 640 employees, and this slide indicates those employees by demographics. This slide represents—
Mr. Chair, can I go back to the screen, please?
Absolutely.
So the people that are 2% that are Hispanic, are we talking about people that are bilingual?
This slide does not indicate if they're bilingual or not. We do have that information, but not on this slide. This is just their demographics and how they refer to themselves demographically.
Because Ms. Jones, because when you think about Hispanic in the population of the city of Detroit, we're really underrepresented because 2% does not make up what they have on the population. It's 7 to 10%. So it's really very low for whatever reason. Are they just not applying?
That could be it. Yes, we interview everyone that applies, that have the requirements, and the hiring manager, interviews and offers, anyone that is qualified. So yes, that could be one of the reasons, Commissioners, that they're just maybe not applying.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
We will get the information out of our agency and we'll start asking them to start applying when they see positions, because you also have to apply and they also have to be positions available.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Of the 640 employees, we have 55% that are Detroit residents. And then the other breakdown is listed. And we did have one hire last month. And as Director Brown indicated, unfortunately, we did lose 2 DWSD employees.
Question, Mr. Chair?
Commissioner Garcia.
Yes, when you look at the employees breakdown and you have 55% that are residents of the city of Detroit, do we know if the other percentages is Wayne County or any of the Tri-County areas? Do they identify them that way?
We do have that breakdown, and I can provide that if that's something that you'll like to.
I would like to see that.
The breakdown. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. As always, we like to report out on how many of our employees are eligible for retirement. So of the 640 employees, we have 114 that are eligible. And the breakdown, as you can see, is to the right. And Commissioner Garcia, last month, you did ask a question about if they did have the years of service, the 30 years, could they withdraw their pension with a penalty? And the answer is yes. You can start collecting, but there will be a penalty based on the criteria of where they are.
Chair?
Commissioner Garcia.
The criteria would be 80 years? total? If you're like 30 years at 60 or 30 years and 50? I
Well,
wasn't sure.
Well, I'm not sure of the penalty itself because they have a different breakdown. If they're 30, they have 30 years of service. At any age, they can start collecting on their pension, but there will be a penalty based on
I would imagine their age.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I would
based on the
imagine that
different.
yeah. So like say if somebody's 65 and has had 30 years of service, I think the government, I wasn't sure if they would not be penalized if they're already at the age and it would add up to 80 years.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but I just wanted to make sure I could ask that question. Thank you.
Tiffany, before you go on, we have to pause and open up the legal committee.
Okay.
All right, colleagues, we will close until the call of the chair.
Chair available? Is Commissioner Kenlock available?
I will chair the committee until Jonathan comes back.
Okay.
So let's call to order the legal committee, Legal and Government Affairs Committee, and let's call the roll.
Commissioner Einhauser,
Present?
Commissioner Blackman,
Detroit.
Commissioner Kenlock was here, but he's excused until he comes back, but we have a quorum.
All right. Then what I'd like to do is adjourn the committee until the call of the chair. And we are.
I'm present. I'm present. I had problems get connected back in. Sorry.
You're too late. We just adjourned the committee.
Oh my God, it's over?
No, we have to finish the other committee and then you're going to call this one back to order.
Thank you. Yep.
Can we have our agenda back, please? Someone from IT?
Do you need I can just do the presentation if we don't need the agenda IT. Okay. Okay, let me pull back up the presentation. Okay, I believe we were at this screen and we had ended. Okay. This slide indicates our recruiting and talent acquisition numbers. So currently we have 16 open positions, and that relates to 57 open positions that we are actively, that are posted and that we are actively seeking candidates for.
Mr. Chair, when you have
Commissioner Garcia.
yes, when you're opening the positions and you're interviewing, once they're interviewing and they're offered a job, what is the time period when they come on?
It's about 2 to 3 weeks, Commissioner.
Oh, so the going rate is about 2 to 3 weeks. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, well, thank you.
Yes. And then this slide is just a continuation of the open recs. So this slide is the recruiting efforts that we've had in the last month. And now I would like to highlight the last one that we did last Thursday, which was Thursday, June 26th at Triumph Church. But I did have my teammate pull up some research for me, Commissioner Garcia. And last October, we did do a career fair in Southwest Detroit. And of that location, there was only 1% of the population that attended that career fair. There were people from other communities that came to that one. So even in the environment, in the community, it was less than 1% of the population that attended that career fair. So I wanted to provide that data point for you. But last Thursday, June 26th, we were at Triumph Church, and it was an outstanding attendance. We had close to 900 people attend the conference. It was located, as I mentioned, at Triumph Church. It started at 10 o'clock. It was from 10 to 2. We had applicants start arriving as early as 8:15. Not only were we there, DWSD, but we also invited and had other resources available. We had Great Lakes Water Authority, we had the mayor's office with community resources, we had Project Clean Slate, we had Detroit at Work, the Detroit Police Department, and representatives from the general city. So people were able to find resources, not just within DWSD, but within our community. So of those people that attended, we did provide on-site interviews. For our field service techs, we interviewed 39 people on site, and we offered 34 positions for field service technicians. For customer service, we interviewed 12 people on site, and of those 12, 6 were offered positions. I would like to highlight that they were offered because we still have to go through the process of evaluating their background checks, their driver's license, their physical, and depending on the job that they applied for, a drug or alcohol test. So we were very pleased with the people that came out and the offers that were presented. I do want to thank our recruitment team led by Carla Calhoun. She was very instrumental in not just pulling all of DWSD together, but like I mentioned, the entire community and offered resources. So it was an all hands on deck. And we want to thank just everyone that participated, that came out, that spent their time, their day helping the community. We truly, I believe, changed some lives. The last slide is our planning calendar. Just a few updates and revisions. We wanted to, I know Labor Relations was slated to present up next, but because we're still in negotiations, we revised the planning calendar to accommodate negotiations. And that is the end of my presentation.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Jones. All right, are there any other matters? Hearing none, our next meeting is August 6th. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Adjournment, Mr. Chair.
All in favor,
Support.
signify by the sign of aye, and we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay. We will now reconvene the Legal and Government Affairs. Let the record reflect that I'm presiding over the committee meeting on that currently, as well as I am present. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Motion is in order to approve the meeting agenda.
Move approval, Mr. Chair.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the committee meeting agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, this item stands approved. Next item on the agenda is approval of the previous committee meeting minutes of June 4th. A motion is in order.
I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the previous meeting minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, this item stands approved. Next item on the agenda is public participation. And at this time, who will be giving the public participation instructions or public comment instructions.
Mr. Chair, Brian Peckinpah, Public Affairs Director. Just the instructions are on your screen, and we just remind folks to raise your hand now so that we don't miss you if you raise your hand during the last call for our public comment. And we do have 2 hands raised, Mr. Chair, and those folks have been on all the committee meetings. Mr. D'Amico Williams is first. Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Williams.
Yes, hi, Commissioner Kinlock. How are you today?
Good afternoon. Doing well.
Thank you. Greetings embodied to this board and Chairman, also regular Chairman Eisenhower as well. D'Amico Williams, Chief Executive Director, Hydrate Detroit. I just wanted to make some comments on the record, but most definitely comments of concern from a community member and a partner. You know, we try to work very hard with the director and the board and the water department, but to hear the comments, it's just disrespectful. Why are you paying and wasting money on lobbyists, lawyers, and influencers instead of using people here that have been coming to the meetings, that have been trying their best to promote the programs and trying to help this department with the customers that it fails to reach? Why? Why? Can you give me an explanation? Is there something personal you have against us? Maybe you don't like our comments, you don't like our analysis. I mean, but we don't have an actual communication channel where we were meeting regularly to discuss how we're going to tackle certain things. We have to work together this time. We can't work in silos and we can't work alone or apart. We have to work together so that when we all meet across the road, we're all on the same page. The Republicans and the Democrats are in a disarray in Michigan and federally. But they're about to take away SNAP, Medicaid, Social Security. That makes most of the water payments. You're not going to receive any water payments. If that gets cut, Social Security is our seniors' lifeblood to live. And it's going to come down to, do I pay my medicine or do I pay the water bill? Well, I don't care about the water bill because I need my medicine. People fighting for their lives and they're going to be cut off. Have a heart here and think about the implications that's just getting ready to have. You know, I look at all of this data and everything, but my main concern is how are we getting to the people? How are we restoring trust within folks to reach out to the water department should they have problems, if they're having problems? And also, the nonprofits don't have any money. I'm embarrassed to admit that our money is gone. I've been going among other grants and things of that nature. I ain't getting nothing. But I pray to God, I pray, and among the support and thankfully the resources that I have that we're able to provide those. I just really want the director and this board to think about where it is that we're going and what we should do to work together. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we do have next person is Narelle Hemphill.
Okay, Ms. Hemphill.
Peace and blessings. Again, my name is Norel Hemphill, and I serve as a legal and policy manager at We the People of Detroit. I am a Detroit resident, graduate of Detroit Public High Schools. I come to the Legal and Government Affairs Committee with 2 requests. Number one, I'm asking for renegotiation of the GLEWA lease agreement. And I just wanted to give you a bit of context. In 1974, when the Honorable Coleman and Young became mayor, the mostly white suburban cities started a campaign against Detroit, an 85% Black city, accusing the city of predation, incompetence, and danger as far as managing the Water Department, DWSD. When the then director of the Water Department proposed a 39% increase in rates, which ended up being 20%. Again, the talk of Detroit being incompetent, not knowing how to run a water department, and all of that, which was really racially motivated, ensued. There were lawsuits filed in court. Some went as high as the Michigan Supreme Court, and none of them found any evidence of illegal activity and said that the rate increases were actually necessary because there were deferred maintenance costs and deferred rate increases that needed to be captured all at once. This resulted in federal oversight of DWSD from the court actions from 1976 until emergency management in 2013. During this time, there was a steady stream of legislation in the state legislature, 93, 95, 97, 99, 2002, 2006, and 2012, in efforts to reduce the control that Detroit had over its water infrastructure. When GLEWA was formed in 2015, DWSD, GLEWA was under that 40-year lease agreement with GLEWA. DWSD gets a $50 million out of that lease. $50 million. GLEWA pays Detroit $50 million to lease our assets. Of that, $13.6 million Detroit pays, and under the common to all costs. We should actually be getting about 215 million, which is 5.8 times the lease agreement we're currently getting. So again, I'm asking for a renegotiation of our current lease agreement and also support of HR 4555, the human right to water. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we have no other hands raised.
Thank you. That concludes public participation. And next item on the agenda is the monthly litigation report. A motion is in order to receive and file item number 2025-150.
I would so move.
Is there support? Is there support? I'll support that. Okay, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, this item stands approved for receive and file. Next item on the agenda is the monthly FOIA report. A motion is in order to receive and file item number 2025-151.
I would so move.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, this item stands approved. Next item on the agenda is unfinished business, and we have item number 2025-131, and which the Board of Water Commissioner for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department is being requested to approve the following information technology policy: artificial intelligence and machine learning. Acceptable use, and authorizes the director to take the necessary action to implement this policy. And I'd like to ask who will speak to this.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Nakia Branch Pinson, Deputy General Counsel. Scott McGriff, General Counsel, sends his apologies for not being able to be here today. But we do have Anil who's going to speak to both of these policies. I'm not sure if it's the desire of the board to move both and we talk about it at one time.
Yes, let me read both of them into the record. So we'll do them jointly. And then item number 2025-132, and that is an item that is a data use classification policy that is tied to, which is part of the information technology policy that's being recommended to us today, and that's part of the presentation. Okay, Ms. Branch.
You're
Sorry, I was
muted.
muted. I
Yeah.
defer to Anil to speak to both of these policies.
Yes, thank you.
All right, good afternoon, Commissioners, and I'll go sign Chief Planning and Strategy Officer. The first policy is the data usage and classification policy. This is to establish guidelines for the classification and usage of data within DWSD to ensure its confidentiality, integrity, and availability. As we're deploying out metadata, there's 4 major categories that we're deploying data throughout the department. DWSD critical, which is heavily around our privacy data, DWSD restricted data, that's heavily around employee health or record data, as well as infrastructure data. There's a DWSD internal data as well, and then there's DWSD public data. So those are the 4 major categories for that data usage and classification policy. If there's no questions, I'll move then to the artificial intelligence and machine learning policy.
Any questions? Any questions?
No questions.
Next item, sir.
Okay, so the artificial intelligence policy and machine learning is to establish the policy for DWSD implementing this technology within the application platforms that we have. We have been talking to vendors on using this, and we're basically creating the guidelines for utilizing this technology within those applications going forward. There is a lot of benefits to it. There's also a lot of risks to it. So as we balance this with cybersecurity risks, this is basically the policy we're going to use to create those guidelines internally and with our vendors.
Okay, you did give us this presentation last month, and I thank you for bringing some additional highlights on this this afternoon. Members, you've heard the report, as well as this is an item that was brought back for the purpose of entertaining any questions that might happen or that you might have in between the last meeting and today. So at this time, I would like to entertain a motion to recommend this to the full board for appropriate action. What is your pleasure?
I would so move.
And what is that move?
What you just said.
Move to approve. Okay, a motion has been made to approve item number 205-131 and 205-132 to recommend to the full board for approval. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's been moved. Who's seconding it? I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, it's been supported. Okay, it's been moved and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, this action stands approved. We'll now go to the next item. Item number 2025152. It is being requested for the Board of Water Commissioners or this committee to recommend to the Board of Water Commissioners to authorize the director to enter into an easement encroachment permit with Fairlane Retail Management LLC. Who's speaking to this item?
Hi, Mr. Chair. James Boudreau, Associate General Counsel for DWSD. I'll be presenting this today.
Thank you. Proceed. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Commissioners. So this is an easement encroachment that relates to the construction of a new driveway / street approach for the Fairlane Green Unit 4 Apartments development in Allen Park, Michigan. The new driveway specifically will cross over a DWSD leased asset, a 54-inch water main, which resides within a DWSD easement, specifically a 30-foot wide easement. And it's located on the south side of Oakwood Boulevard, west of Fairlane Drive, and east of the Southfield Expressway in Allen Park. This easement encroachment permit, along with all DWSD encroachment permits, has been reviewed and approved with conditions by DWSD engineers, as well as DWSD engineers, to ensure the integrity of the underlying asset. So the Office of the General Counsel is now recommending to this Legal and Government Affairs Committee for their approval and movement to the full board, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
And thank you. So any questions on this item? Any questions on this item? A motion is in order to recommend approval of 2025-152. Who will be making that motion?
Mr. Chair.
It's been moved. Is there support? Is there support? I'll support that motion. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? This item stands approved. We'll now go to item. Okay, can you go scroll back down? Okay, we'll now go to item, hold on. Ooh. Hold on. I thought there was another item. Okay, so hold on.
There is
Okay, planning calendar. There is no item
Mr. Chair?
for, yes,
I don't believe we've done number 8.
that's what I'm saying. Can somebody go up? Thank you. Yeah,
All right, B.
8B, that's what I thought. Okay, so at this time, we will who will speak to item number 2025-155, in which the board, this committee is being asked to recommend to the Board of Water Commissioners to enter into a real estate purchase agreement with P&V Management Group LLC. Who's here to speak to this?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll be speaking on this as well.
You may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. Again, James Boudreau, Associate General Counsel with DWSD. So this is a purchase agreement related to the sale of certain real property that is owned by DWSD for the purchase price of $200,000. The following properties included in the sale are 15600 Grand River Avenue, 15616 Grand River Avenue, and 14563 Winthrop Street, all in Detroit. These properties used to be the makeup of DWSD's West Side Customer Service Center. However, that customer service center is no longer in use, and the properties have been and remain vacant. DWSD did have these properties appraised, and the terms of the purchase agreement were negotiated through our office, the Office of the General Counsel. That purchase agreement should have been included in the resolution for you, so all of those terms should be in that document. The Office of the General Counsel is now recommending this to the Legal and Government Affairs Committee for their approval and movement to the full board, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Are there any questions on this item? Are there any questions on this item?
Chair, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'd like to hear a comment or an explanation as to why we're not going to reopen that customer service center or something else in that area.
Thank you, Commissioner. What I can speak to is I know when COVID hit back in 2020, I know that the customer service center, especially with a lot of employees going and being remote, I know the customer service center was shut down at that point. It has been. In terms of moving forward in another area in that location or near that location, I can't speak to that right now, but I can do my best to discuss that with.
We'll defer to Director Brown, who's available.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And as I think earlier, Matt put a chart up and showed all the ways that our customers want to pay their bills and talk to us. And it's not by coming into a customer service center and talking. We do, however, have the downtown center open if needed, if someone needs to talk to someone face to face, but we just don't have the customers that want to go into a brick and mortar. They, quite frankly, want to deal with us with their cell phones through the app. And the proof is in the charts that we saw earlier today. And so right now we have no need for those buildings. And in the future, it appears that the direction that we're going in, that our customers want to go in, is to deal with us through other means other than coming in and sitting in a customer service center.
Statistics to back that up, Mr. Brown?
I'm sorry, say again, Madam Chair. Madam Commissioner.
Do we have statistics to back up what we're saying from the customer's point of view? I hear what you're saying, but I think there's still a significant number of people who want to be able to handle their business in person. maybe a certain age demographic, I'm not sure, but what I'm hearing is that there's still people who want to be able to pay their bills. So I'm just asking, do we have the statistical data to back up what we're saying?
Yeah, we certainly do, and we can put it into a report form and present it to you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see, did we, have a motion and second on this item?
Yes.
So at this time, I guess, did we didn't dispose of it yet, had we?
Not
No.
yet.
Okay, at this time, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, this item stands approved. Next item on the agenda is the planning calendar. At this time, I will be consulting with our general counsel as it relates to the planning calendar. And the next item we'll go to is other matters. And as it relates to the next item, which is the closed session, but before we go there, I'm going to ask, we did receive an attorney-client memo from our general counsel based on a conversation, based on a request that I had with the had made at the last meeting. And I'm going to ask among the members right now, is there anything, did you want to discuss any aspects of that memo?
I did not.
Okay, I did not either. I was satisfied with that memo, as well as other opportunities that I could communicate with our council. Is it agreed that there's no need to go into closed session?
I would agree with that, Mr. Chair, and I am pleased though that you did ask for that additional information that was helpful in making my decision.
Mine as well, and thank the general counsel and team and staff for for pulling that together. Thank you, Ms. Branch. Yep. Okay, so at this time, we will now proceed to the next item on the agenda, which is the next meeting. Next meeting is August the 6th, 2025. And at this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
We will adjourn, Mr. Chair.
Is there support? It's been moved and supported to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.
Is that the end of our agenda?
Yes, I believe that's it.
Okay, so long, everybody.
Have a good holiday.
Thanks. You too, everybody. Enjoy.